What's going on YouTube? Do you like to off-road, but you also want all the features and all the luxury? Well, GMC has just the SUV for you. This is the new 2025 Yukon, but it's also in the all-new AT4 Ultimate trim level. This is combining, of course, the AT4's capability, but with a lot more luxury features. So let's go ahead and take a detailed first look at this new trim level. All right, so let's of course get things started here with the exterior design. Now for 2025, every Yukon in the lineup is getting an exterior refresh, so we have some updated design elements. Now this is the AT4 Ultimate, so what you'll notice up here in the front is going to be a little bit more of a rugged look, especially as opposed to the Denali Ultimate, which is on the other side of me. You'll notice that we've got the blacked out gloss finish that goes around the grille itself. It's going to be kind of raised up. We've got a different bar design that runs through here, and then of course the big difference is going to be once we drop down to this lower fascia. So you'll see that this is going to be totally different on this model. We've got new finishes, a totally different design. You have things like your red recovery hooks, and then of course this is about actually having additional capability as well, so you can actually raise the suspension to be 2 inches higher, since it does have the air suspension, than any other version of the Yukon. And then you do have a 32-degree approach angle because of the way this is sloped. Now let's turn over here to our headlights. We have the very premium full LED headlights with the stacked crystal design. This is a new look for 2025. It does also have animations when you approach the vehicle, and then you've got fog lamps down below. Now in the background there you can see the Denali Ultimate. We do have a dedicated video about all the features on that model, but kind of turning back over here to this AT4 Ultimate, obviously one of the big differences between this and that are going to be your wheels. So this is a 20-inch alloy wheels as opposed to a 24-inch alloy, and this practically gives you the ability to stick the all-terrain tires on here, giving you more off-road capability. You certainly wouldn't want to go off-road with those 24s. Now moving up here, we've got our GMC branding. You do have AT4 branding as well, and the mirrors are going to be fully loaded with all the features, including power folding, auto dimming, and blind spot monitoring.
Now here at the side, you're going to see that boxy shape that buyers really appreciate in this segment for 2025. And as far as vehicle length, it's 210 inches long with the standard wheelbase as you see pictured today. You can also get the XL version on the AT4 Ultimate, and that's going to come in at 225 inches of overall length, and of course extend your cargo capacity and space figures out. But I gave Drew a second to reposition so we can take a look at this new rear design for the Yukon. So as you can see, there are quite a few updated elements for 2025 and some AT4 exclusive elements as well. So let's go ahead and dive in. So as you can see, we do have a hidden rear wiper that remains the same this year. And then we're gonna have this new piece going through below the window. This is actually gonna be finished in kind of a gray color. I really like the way that looks, especially in contrast with the paint. And then as we head over to our taillights, this is a new design for 2025. It's a full LED finish as you would expect on an Ultimate GMC, and it does also have the lighting animations just like the front. Now as we head down to this lower fascia, you will find AT4 branding. This is going to be finished in a matte black color scheme, but we are going to continue to have the quad exhaust outlets. I really like that touch that GMC includes. New for 2025, they're going to have a square finish, and then as far as your tow rating, it's 8,400 pounds as a maximum. Now when it comes to your safety, of course, you're going to have a lot of safety features, but notably for this AT4 Ultimate trim level, I want to point out that you're going to have standard Super Cruise. You get a 3-year free trial included on both the Denali Ultimate and this AT4 Ultimate, and that allows for hands-free highway driving, and it's even expanded onto some secondary roads as well. You can even do that with a trailer attached, so very impressive safety technology with this model. Super Cruise will be available on other trim levels, but you will have to option it on. But guys, let's go ahead and check out the AT4 Ultimate's cabin. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, now let's go ahead and check out the interior. First, here's our GMC key fob. It is the same for 2025. It's smart entry, and we have remote start on the fob itself. Now open up the door here. This does have power deploying running boards, I want to point out, but they're turned off right now. And then check out the interior. So we really have a very premium space. You're going to notice actually many of the details from the Denali Ultimate, those kind of special touches, are going to be here on the AT4 Ultimate. One of those things is going to be your seats. So these are an exclusive seat design. You'll notice that we've got just a lot of beautiful details with this seat. So starting from the top, we have AT4 branding up there. We have exclusive piping and stitching details. We also have perforation that runs through here. And then on these bolsters, these also have this really interesting texture that's unlike any of the other trims. Now, this is a 16-way power adjusting seat, which means that it does also include massage, just like the Denali Ultimate, in addition to your standard memory seats. But let's go ahead and climb inside. Now, as soon as you climb inside, you're going to be greeted with a lot of really bold animations that show off the enhanced technology for 2025. But let's go ahead and just look at the rest of the materials first and foremost here. So over here on our door trim, we do have a leather covering. Of course, it's going to be in the center section and even along the top. This Denali Ultimate, or AT4 Ultimate, has open pore wood just like the Denali Ultimate. Now as we move to the upper dashboard, again, it was finished in a nice leather material, more beautiful open pore wood running throughout. We have leather covering through here, beautiful wood again, and a piano black finish through the center section. Definitely very, very similar to what you get with the Denali Ultimate. Now we're in a studio setting, so I'm not going to be able to fire up the engine, of course, but I'll go ahead and fire up the electronics. So right from the top here, we'll talk about our gauge cluster. This is an 11-inch digital cluster. This is actually a little smaller than what it was in 2024, but it has a new integration where it's kind of more seamless with the surroundings around it. Fully reconfigurable, of course. You have a 15-inch head-up display on this AT4 Ultimate. And as far as the steering wheel, beautiful design on board, nice thick rim design. You have a special stitching detail on this version here versus the Denali Ultimate, and of course it's power tilt and telescoping and heated. Every single version has a heated steering wheel. Now, turning over here to our center console, you're going to find a lot of storage, plenty of space to stick things, but that's not all, of course. There's a lot more to cover. If I press this button, I can slide this console completely back, revealing another storage cubby through here and a secret storage shelf. Up in front of that, we have two cup holders. We've got another storage cubby for a wireless phone charging pad. There's storage on both sides through here. There's storage in the doors. And then we have our second hidden storage cubby up here on the top of the dashboard where you can stick your sunglasses or any valuables inside of this one because it's nice and felt lined. Now, obviously none of that space is going to be occupied by a shifter because this is a column mount shifter, new for 2025. Down for drive, up for reverse. When you go into reverse, that is going to give you a 360-degree camera system. That's also standard across the entire Yukon lineup for 2025. And I can actually press that button there and give you a kind of a look at your different views that you can switch between, including things for hooking up a trailer. Now that we've drawn our attention over to this area, of course, really this is going to be where most of the functionality of the cabin is living, is right here in this main 16.8-inch touchscreen. As you can see, that's absolutely massive. Down at the bottom, 3-zone climate is going to be functional down here, but you do have physical controls actually to control most of the things, so you don't actually have to touch the touchscreen if you don't want to. One exception to that is where you turn on and off your heated and ventilated seats. Now in 2024, one of the features you certainly would have to give up if you went for the AT4 was the high-end audio system. You do have the Bose Performance Sound series on this AT4 Ultimate now, so you have speakers all over the place, including in the back of the headrest. Now as far as the infotainment system itself, this is the latest GMC design here, so this is kind of a tiled interface. The important thing is that you have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You also have Google Apps built in, so this right here is Google Maps, and because of that, you guys have really just fantastic performance and top-notch graphics. Now, your HomeLink Universal Remotes are built into the system itself for 2025. You also have the rear camera mirror. And then up top, you've got a big console with a lot of different buttons. The main stuff is the fact that I can just press right there and that would open up my large panoramic sunroof.
But let's dive into the rear seat of this AT4 Ultimate and see what you're going to get back here. Now, I do want to mention that you aren't going to get exactly all the features that you would find on the Denali Ultimate, for instance. One of those features that you are missing is the power rear seat. So the Denali Ultimate will give you a full power rear seat with massage. You're not going to find that in the AT4 Ultimate, but that's not to say you're not going to get a lot of features, because you certainly will. As far as those features, let's dive in. So right here in the center area, you will notice an 8-inch screen. That is new for 2025, and it allows you to adjust your climate controls instead of using those knobs like before. You also have this button, which will allow you to turn on and off your heated rear seats. You are also missing out on the seat ventilation, I am noticing. And then you do also have this menu, which has your seat massage. I will confirm with GMC to see if you get seat massage on the AT4 Ultimate. We do be aware we are in pre-production model, so some of the features and functionalities may vary when it comes to the production model. We do have 2 USB ports and 2 HDMI outlets and a household style outlet as well. Additionally, we're going to get the 12.6-inch rear infotainment screens that include things like YouTube, Hulu, all the things that you're going to be looking for you can find in this model. As you turn to the door trim, I do want to point out that we're not going to have any rear window sunshades. I really wish GMC had added that this year, but overall, it's a very premium rear in this AT4 Ultimate. You're just going to be missing out on just that extra level of bouginess that you would get on the Denali Ultimate. But the Yukon is all about space, so let's go ahead and check out the third row. I did go ahead and move over here to the AT4 Ultimate to show you guys this. As you can see, it's still a 2-part folding mechanism to get into the third row, and let's go ahead and check it out. Now, I do want to point out you have 3 rear seats back here, and when it comes to the amount of space that you're going to find, it's about 35 inches of legroom, 38 inches of headroom. The thigh support is absolutely phenomenal. So just like Yukons have passed, the third row is definitely not a penalty box at all. It's a really fantastic place to spend time. As far as features are concerned, GMC hasn't really changed anything, so you're still not going to have a heated third row as an option, so keep that in mind. We do keep USB ports as well as cup holders and vents coming out of the ceiling, though. And also, you're going to keep the same grade of leather here in the third row. So if you get the nice wide grain leather like what we have on today's example, it's actually going to go into the third row as well. Now, walking up to the tailgate on this Denali Ultimate, of course, we do have a Power One. New this year is that you have the auto sensibility. So as you walk up to the vehicle, it'll beep a couple times and actually open up the tailgate, so you're getting rid of that kick function. You will also still retain the popping rear glass independent from the tailgate itself as well. Now, as far as the space is concerned, that of course doesn't change this year, so we're going to have about 25 cubic feet behind the second row of seats. That expands up to about 73 cubic feet if I go ahead and fold those seats down, which I can't fully fold them down. Of course, the seats are not working exactly right on this clip, so do be patient with us. This is a prototype vehicle, of course, and then you can also power fold those seats down as well. That gives you about 123 cubic feet as a maximum in the standard wheelbase version. You can, of course, also get the XL version that expands up to about 145 cubic feet. As far as features, we do have a little storage underneath of here, and then you're going to find a spare tire integrated underneath of the bumper.
All right, but let's go ahead and talk about what you'll find under the hood. So we are still going to have 3 different powertrain options for the Yukon lineup, beginning with the 5.3 liter V8. You also have the 6.2 liter V8, and then we have a new Duramax diesel engine, which is upgraded substantially for 2025. Now with this Denali Ultimate, this is going to come standard with the 6.2 liter V8. It's still going to be making 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. Now this updated Duramax diesel option though, this, like I said, has more power for 2025. We're up to 305 horsepower and 495 pound-feet of torque. And this is also now going to be offered across the entire trim lineup, including the AT4 if you want to go, off-roading and also have that diesel option. And then lastly, of course, that 5.3 liter V8 will continue to make 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. As such, the fuel economy's numbers should not change from 2024, so you should be looking at about 17 miles per gallon combined when you choose the 5.3 liter V8 and 16 miles per gallon combined with the 6.2 liter V8. Now all models are going to be paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission. You have standard rear-wheel drive and available 4-wheel drive as well. And then of course the big news about driving with the Yukon is the fact that you have magnetic ride control and also an available air suspension. So those 2 things really help the Yukon to always be delivering excellent ride quality.
And let's talk pricing for this new Yukon. Now GMC has not officially released pricing just yet when it comes to this model. Do keep in mind though, when it comes to the trim structure, we are getting rid of that base SLE model and the SLT and replacing it with the Elevation. So we're estimating that that trim level will start in the low $60,000 price point, around 62 grand. And then for this fully loaded Denali Ultimate, we do expect a little bit of a price increase for 2025. So I'd expect this to start at a little over $100,000, maybe 101, 102,000 for the standard wheelbase version. Now do keep in mind, those are only estimates. They're not official from GMC just yet, but stay tuned to the channel where we will be releasing those latest details. Now, as far as availability, all trims are going to be available at launch, so regardless of what trim level you want to choose, and it is expected to be hitting dealership lots at the end of this year. So you're not going to have to wait too much longer if you want to pick up one of these Yukons. And if you're looking to buy a Yukon or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now the reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description, and we also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. And guys, that's going to be it for our in-depth review of the AT4 Ultimate GMC Yukon. If you enjoyed watching this first look review, we would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below and became a part of our Car Confections family. We make a lot of car reviews on this channel that I'm sure you won't want to miss out on, so do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. If you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.